I have three here, but for any of these three to work, you need to be present. So I would say slow down, especially if you're someone like me who can be a little bit fast and a little bit into the future. It really helps to slow things down. Otherwise, like I said, you won't recognize it if it's right in front of you. So the first thing is to train your brain to recognize that joy is something you can find or something you can cultivate within yourself. And if you're going to find it, you got to be open to it. You got to be looking for it. You got to be able to see it. For a lot of people, the joy is right there, smack in front of them, and they just blind. So training your brain, practice noticing what's already there. You do not need to spend thousands of dollars to go on an exotic vacation to find joy. It's right in your backyard if you really want it. Okay. So the second thing is not to outsource it and don't make it so difficult. Kind of like I had just said. You don't need to spend thousands of dollars. You don't need to lose 30 pounds. You don't need to have a partner. You don't doesn't it's not on Amazon. You don't need to go buy it. It's literally right there. So don't think that it has to be external when you can create it. Yes, you can find it in some of these things, of course, but it's not the only place it is. So really learn where to find it within. And then finally, the last one is lower the bar. I use something called your portfolio of joy. It kind of sounds like your list, Matt. Your list sounds like your portfolio of joy. It's like a toolbox of like, okay, where in my portfolio am I going to find joy today? And my rules for when I'm helping people build this portfolio, which is really just a list, is it has to be easy, it has to be accessible, and it has to be free. Free meaning you already have it, it's already there. So some of mine, going for my walk in Cabbagetown, being in nature, it's right over there. Just go for a walk and it's there. It's very easy. Telling someone I love that I love them for no reason other than to just say, I love you. Thank you for being in my life. That brings me a lot of joy. That feels really good for me. Doing something nice for a stranger, saying good morning, holding the door open, just whatever it is for me brings me a lot of joy. My morning coffee, for sure. Watering my plants in the morning. So my thing is I get up, I make my coffee, and then I water my plants, and I kind of say hello, and I see who's new. Like there's any new little buds coming in, and like that for me is so simple, and yet it brings me so much joy. Again, it's all here. I don't need to go anywhere. I can do this in my house. Going for a bike ride. That big one for me, I've said this so many times, is listening to music, getting some of my favorite songs, singing. Even though I'm the worst singer you will ever find, but I sing so loud, and people who can hear me must hate it. But that brings me so much joy. Dancing as well, same idea. Yeah, I got a big space here. I can dance around. So that all these are things that are in my portfolio of joy. So build that, kind of like what Matt has in his phone. Build that, literally write it down. Like, what are the things that I can access right now, right here, without going too far? Making a beautiful meal, and for me, putting on my Italian music, my grandparents' old music from the 50s and 60s. It just reminds me of them, and it just fills me with so much joy. It really, I don't know what it is, but just something innocent. It brings back to my innocent childhood with them around, and that brings me joy. So there's so many. Like, you could fill up this portfolio. As you can see, I'm listing a whole bunch. I'm sure, listener, viewer, if you sat down and did this exercise, you would also be able to list a whole lot of things that are not, that like I said, are easy, free, and accessible.